you still see how, like, with the different things you can do with Shadow Ball and, like, all the different combos, like, there's some potential there for sure. And we are going to be starting up this match here. We got the Talent City music playing, but don't get too confused. It's a small battlefield for game 1.
Why are we seeing Animal Crossing music on anything else? We already get it enough.
Yeah. No, we had to deal with Animal Crossing music all of Smash 4 and then a lot of Ultimate as well. But we get a new stage, but we're still seeing this Talent City music. But we're currently seeing a pretty solid lead here from Tonestone.
I'm not sure how I feel about these downers on the platform. I know it was shown off in the trailer, but like you gotta, like a lot of the times, Sephiroth is looking to be as non-committal as possible. Both of these two are, but Sephiroth can actually play that way thanks to the utility of his massive sword. And now that the wing is online, you can double down even further on that play style.
Yeah, I think at the beginning of the game, we kind of saw Krilldog trying to like shake off the rust. And I think still he's playing like pretty defensively for the most part, but I think it's only a matter of time until he really starts to turn on the jets. But you really gotta be careful around these Shadow Balls, you know what I mean? Yeah, nice counter.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting for one of the counters on the Shadow Ball since Tonestone is pretty reliably approached with them.
Yeah.
But getting the counter all the same, that Scintilla does activate on anything. And
big
the
back air.
Yeah, huge back air.
Yeah, I'm liking it so far. I mean, Tonestone does have a very solid lead, but this is nothing impossible to come back from. Nevertheless, you gotta give credit to Tonestone from really holding down the neutral, playing patient, and not getting too phased. But a little bit of a scary situation right here, but just able to get out of it.
I like how Tonestone is kind of focusing on what makes a matchup good for characters like Mewtwo or Sephiroth, or excuse me, not Mewtwo or Samus in this Sephiroth matchup, which is you need to expand your range, and the best way to do that autonomously is with a charge projectile. Having that Shadow Ball is going to be it's going to threaten Sephiroth in a way that his sword can't always reliably clash with.
Yeah.
You gotta lean into that when you don't have as many advantages in a matchup like this.
That's true for sure, but you gotta watch out for these big sword attacks as well. You're very close to dying to a back air right now, and oh, but the reflection right there, yeah. Just a bit of confusion right there, I mean, literally. But that back air is gonna eat up that Shadow Ball and take it to a last stock situation for game 1.
Yeah, tried the same trick again, but this time with the Shadow Flare orbs that were on him, with that double jump confusion, but Krilldog instantly adapting to it. It's one of those tricks that doesn't work all that often. You gotta be very, very particular when you pull it out.
And yeah, we're just gonna see, again, pretty defensive gameplay here. We know that like Mewtwo's got some pretty big combos on these bigger these like taller characters. So let's keep it pretty chill for now, but here's a big moment of opportunity, but Krilldog just able to escape from it. And again, it's looking pretty nice for Tonestone right now, getting a lot of pressure. And Krilldog's just gotta find some sort of response right now because, I mean, he's been taking his time, but you don't want to be too late. It's
this like kind of weird nebulous position, right, where you're reaching a point where you want to find a stock soon. Oh, just the hold on.
Wait, that oh, it reached it. Okay, okay.
It's just enough, but
that didn't kill?
He needed the extra hit on it, I guess. Wow, I'm very surprised that didn't close out the stock, given how we were just talking about how light Mewtwo is.
Yeah.
Still, instantaneously making this game even and a whole lot scarier for Tonestone here. And you can see that in his gameplay, just charging Shadow Balls, taking a step back, and waiting to see what Krilldog is going to do. But one of these fairs.
Tonestone just getting another lease on life, you know what I mean? And that is just absolutely huge. And we're going to really have to see... Oh, up throw? Wow. And that is actually going to kill Tonestone with... You know, just gets that another lease on life and just like surprisingly just able to hold on and take that game 1.
I'm really, really shocked he lived that because
that was crazy.
I was expecting like even if you broke the shield, he lands on the platform. Oh, you can still Giga Flare this, and instead of just letting the Giga Flare go, you do Giga Flare up smash.
Yeah, and that up B that he did on Tonestone's shield.
Super greedy.
Yeah, just a bit much, you know what I mean? Just like it just kind of comes down to a risk reward kind of evaluation. Like you can do that, you can get away with that like at lower percents, but when you're at 112 in upstart range, it's kind of tough. But we're gonna see the counter pick the battlefield. How do you feel about this?
I don't hate it, right? Like, while Mewtwo still has the range of movement that was so good on small battlefield with those teleports and by extension those teleport cancels, Sephiroth has now the availability to go high when he has wing, and even if not. I think that's where that added verticality dimension was something that Krilldog was missing in that first game.
Yeah, because you saw Tonestone just able to really land and just get out of disadvantage. And I think with that extra platform with the potential to do like certain sharking with the big sword attacks, of course, like
that was cute.
It's kind of tough. But right now, okay, trying to see, we're seeing a lot of these up B's out of shield, which I guess you just kind of, again, just be careful with to sort of risk-reward evaluation. But
yeah, I don't hate them when they're like strictly on the ground, right? It's a nice little, it's a cheeky mix-up. The blade dash doesn't have a ton of end lag. You can just go instantly from the corner to center stage in a super non-committal way.
Yeah,
it's just like a nice mix-up. You're not getting much here, but a forward tilt is enough.
Yeah, gets that disable. I know Tonestone was looking for that disable, finally able to get one, and really makes it count. And right now we are seeing a big amount of extra credit right now. Krilldog's gonna have to stop the bleeding pretty quickly.
This is the damage that comes with picking a stage like Battlefield. The survivability is so huge for every single character.
That was the one thing I was kind of worried about, right?
Yeah, it really swinging on who has the lead. And right now, Tonestone looking so much more calm now that he escaped a rough game one. He's like, all right, I have my adaptations. I gathered my knowledge, and I can use that to snowball this game as soon as you find an opening. And these sour spots are not doing Krilldog any favors.
Yeah, no, Sephiroth is kind of tough because he's got very strong attacks if you get the sweet spot. And, I mean, even right there, that was not able to kill. But finally, going to get a little neutral B off stage.
I'm sorry.
Didn't get the reflection.
Sure. Like, okay.
we take those. We take those.
Honestly, true enough, right? Like, not much more you can say behind that, especially with the Shadow Ball not getting the spacing in order to get the downswing so it hits ledge. Also, Sephiroth just has a really good ledge hang.
True. And here we can see a little bit of a comeback potentially. I like how Krilldog is like keeping the pressure high, not trying to give Tonestone as much breathing room as before, because I mean, if he lets Tonestone cook, I mean, you got a lot of those shadow balls coming out and stuff. And wow, big conversion right there.
Super. So we saw a couple of times over as Tonestone finds the equalizing backer. We saw a couple times over how Tonestone likes to be a little bit persuasive to get Krilldog off of ledge.
Yeah.
Whether it be with like confusion, disable, all of these tools. Krilldog doing a great job of calling that out super hard and timing it with the Shadow Flare to ensure his punish was guaranteed.
Oh, for sure. But so we are going to see more equal footing, but we are seeing a bit of a percentage lead as well. Tonestone continuing to just continue to cook. Oh, not another one? Okay, not able to get much out of it. Good mashing on Krilldog's part. Not getting that big of a punish there, but you are, again, very susceptible to, I mean, stuff like that, and that's going to be it. 2-0 for Tonestone, and man, close 2-0, but yeah, like,
there was definitely some moments where it gets scary. Like as soon as Sephiroth has wing, like the dimensions of the matchup change completely, right?
Yeah, because we saw that one back air where Mewtwo just exploded.
Oh yeah,
you know what
gone
I mean?
At like whatever it was,
yeah.
70 or so. We might. But I think what is so interesting as we go through a couple of replays here is how Tonestone was more so looking in a game.
Oh,
yeah, this was the flow
if he
charged, of all time.
Do you think he killed if he like charged up smash?
He was at
58.
He was at 50 wing, maybe get the sweet spot. I think the truly optimal play would be to jump up on the platform and do Giga Flare forward smash, but he landed on the platform instead.
It was a bit wonky, so it was really unfortunate, but I mean, good win there from Tonestone, who's going to be moving on to this later part of the bracket.
Let me see this last stock. I really want to showcase like Tonestone doing.
He died at 90.
Yeah, just gone,
and he exploded too.
Oh, not the down smash. The lead up to the down smash, however, was we saw a jump from ledge with wing, jump, double jump, blade dash in.
Yeah.
Or no, it was a landing there. I think same kind of idea. However, where a lot of times Tonestone was letting Krilldog get away with the depth of movement that Sephiroth has access to, and is much more willing to punish as soon as all of those resources were burned. And I don't think Krilldog was catching on to the fact that the resources he was using were being almost expended all at once.
Yeah, because there's only so much energy you can exert in like different neutral interactions,
Right.
and once Krilldog has started exhausted all of his different options and mix-ups in terms of movement,